costs.
Right. And hash browns.
Alright guys, how y'all doing?
Awesome.
Good.
We're so good.
Alright, today we're going to learn about Irish music. Okay? Now, I imagine all of you are familiar with Ireland. Does anybody know where it is in relation to the British Isles? West.
Above it.
West.
Europe.
Yeah. And you have England, Scotland, and Wales all on one island. And Ireland is to the west of it. You can see right there.
Why is Ireland two countries?
It's Ireland and Northern Ireland. It's kind of a separation of different parts, and we'll get into that in a minute. So in Ireland, in the late 1800s, there was an issue. Can anybody tell me what Ireland's main cash crop was?
Potatoes.
Potatoes.
God, we're so smart.
Okay. Now, at the time, there was this thing called the potato famine, and they couldn't get potatoes to grow.
No potatoes.
So people were going hungry, and their economy suffered. They had no way to make money or income. So many of them were forced to immigrate, and a lot of them immigrated to the United States. If memory serves me correctly, probably about 15 million something Irish immigrated to the United States. And an interesting thing about this is when they immigrated to America, it affected how their folk music was. And a song that we're going to teach you later is called The Bard of Armagh. For example, when they came to America, over time this song was changed to a song called Streets of Laredo, a cowboy song. So
Stepping back and talking about the potato famine. Actually, we're going to go with this one first. Okay, so this is Ireland. And we're going to try this and it's going to work. Okay, so this side of the country is very rocky and very scenic, and it's a bunch of like cliffs and edges and not a lot of farming, not a lot of farming area. Now this side of the country, all of this over here, yes. This side is their farming land, like all their other crops that they grow. And whenever England came and invaded, ooh, where are you? Oh, that's so when England came and invaded Ireland, they took all of this for themselves. All right, and so all of the Irish people had to move to this side of the country. They were pushed all the way to these outskirts. And so the only thing that would grow there was the potatoes. And then the bacteria came and all that happened. So with that happening, whenever you look at another map showing the different, how does this go away?
Use the eraser.
That's genius. Okay. All right. So when these countries, when England invaded, and all the immigrants, all the Irish people, not immigrants yet, when all the Irish people moved over, there was distinct groups that was really adamant on holding Irish tradition, which included their Irish folk music. And so when they did go from when I started immigrating into the United States, one of the big things that I learned from an interview was that due to the recording industry in America, all these Irish immigrants came and they were able to record their folk music, which was traditionally passed down orally. And so along the lines of improvisation and personal tweaks, they realized once that these folk songs were recorded and they were sent back to Ireland, they realized that these different districts, I guess you could call them, they all had a different way of playing the same songs. So each district itself kind of improved and tweaked their own personal genius into each song. So with that happening, not only was the immigrants in America, the music that was being played in America that they were the Americans were learning and the immigrants were bringing to them, that was turned into the cowboy song and other renditions were taken. But when it returned back to Ireland, the Irish realized oh, we have these different different ideas. So let's unify. And now today they're strong as ever. So, all right, next. All right, the next thing we're going to talk about, there's an instrument in Ireland. Does anyone know what a harp is? AJ.
Played the harp in 4th and 5th grade.
You are in 5th grade. That's exciting. So you're doing it right now.
It's a string instrument, and they're tuned in, I think, fourths, and they have different colors for the strings, and you pluck them.
Wow, that was perfect.
Really big.
Good job. Everyone give AJ a hand.
Angels.
Alright, so in Ireland, actually no, we'll do this first. So you said harp. Everyone sees a picture of this?
Yes.
Different strings. She's
That's what
plucking
AJ
each
did.
string, and it's very large. It's a very large instrument. And now in Ireland, they have their own Irish harp. Their own harp in Ireland. And this harp is much smaller. Can everybody see that picture? Much smaller. Not as many strings, not as many things to pluck. The look of it is very different. So we're going to listen to a song, a piece of music, played on a Celtic Irish harp. And while you're listening, think about different descriptions, what you're hearing. If there's stuff that repeats. Can anyone tell me some things that they heard?
Really high notes. It's pretty.
There's a lot of passing.
It sounds like there's two things going on at once.
Anyone else? Raise your hand.
Yeah, there were repeating sections, and the repeating sections had embellishments on them.
Such a smart.
Oh, right. I was a genius in this grade.
It was very open sounding.
Okay. What do you mean by open sounding?
It just sounds open.
Alright, so we're gonna teach y'all a song now. Called Mar Mar Mom. So, there's no need to get an arc. Let's everybody sit up straight. Imagine you stand up, you sit in the chair. Good. So, I personally think Celtic music sounds really pretty. And I think the same thing about this song. So, it's in 4 verses, and how this is going to work is I'm going to sing a verse, and then I'll have y'all repeat. Okay? Oh, list to the tale of a poor Irish harper. Okay? Alright, now repeat, I'll sing it with you. Oh, list to the tale of a poor Irish harper. Okay, let's try it one more time. Listen to me one more time. Oh, list to the tale of an old Irish harper. Okay, let's try it one more time. Oh, list to the tale of That was my fault. Let's try one more time. Yes.
What are the words? I can't.
Okay, I'll read the words.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, the first verse, oh list, it means listen, but it says listen in the lyrics. Oh list to the tale of a poor Irish harper. Okay.
And the second part?
Second part, and scorn not the strings in his old withered hand.
Okay.
Okay. Let's try the second verse again. And scorn not the strings in his old withered hand.
Do you mind singing it one more time?
Yeah. And scorn not the string in his old withered hand. Okay, let's try it.
And scorn not the string in his old withered hand.
Okay. So it's a little different in the beginning of the phrase than the first half. So listen to me sing it one more time. And scorn not the string in his old withered hand. Okay, let's try one more time again. It's a tricky one.
And scorn not the string in his old withered hand.
Good. All right, so let's try to put the first two verses together. So I'm going to say the lyrics one more time. A list to the tale of a poor Irish harper. I'll say it.
Oh, list to the tale of a poor Irish harper.
Okay. And scorn not the strings in his old withered hand.
And scorn not the strings in his old withered hand.
Okay. So let's try to sing the first two verses together. Do y'all remember what the first verse sounds like in terms of the pitches? All right, let's try it.
Oh, list to the tale of an old Irish harper, and scorn not the string in his old withered hand.
Okay, that's good. All right. Now thirds is a little trickier, moves a little bit more. So I'm going to read you the lyrics. But remember, those fingers could once move much sharper. Okay, I'm going to sing it for you once or twice. But remember, those fingers could once move much sharper. Okay? You want me to sing it one more time? Or?
Yes.
Okay. But remember, those fingers could once move much sharper. Okay. You ready to try it? Okay.
But remember, those fingers could once move much sharper.
Okay, good. One thing that's tricky in the first measure of this is there's 3 different notes on one syllable. So, but remember those fingers. Okay. Listen. All right, let's try that verse one more time.
But remember, those fingers could once move much sharper.
Okay, good. That's better. And I'm going to read the words to the last verse. To waken the echoes of his dear native land. Okay, so I'm going to sing that. To waken the echoes of his dear native land. Okay, I'm sing one more time. To waken the echoes of his dear native land. All right, let's try that together.
To waken the echoes of his dear native land.
Okay. Now, before we try the whole thing, let's take 3 and 4 and put those together, and then we can try the whole thing. So I'm going to read 3 and 4. But remember, those fingers could once move much sharper to waken the echoes of his dear native land. Okay. Do y'all want me to sing it for you one time, or do you want to try?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes to.
Sing it.
Okay. But remember those fingers could once move much sharper to waken the echoes of his dear native land. Ready to try it? Alright, try it. But remember those fingers could once move much sharper to waken the echoes of his dear native land. Okay, so I'm going to read the lyrics one more time because I think this could easily be a poem too. It might be. All right, I'm going to read the lyrics and then we'll sing it together. A list to the tale of a poor Irish harper, and scorn not the strings in his old withered hand, but remember those fingers could once move much sharper to waken the echoes of his dear native land. Would y'all like to jump into it, or would y'all like me to sing it one time?
Let's give it. Let's go.
Yeah, let's jump.
Let's do it. All right.
It's the first note.
Oh, list. Sorry. The first two notes are an octave. Oh, list. Okay. Oh, list to the tale of an old Irish harper, and scorn not the strings in his old withered hand, but remember those fingers could once move much sharper to waken the echoes of his dear native land. It's quite a bit of lyrics in this, but
You want to do it one more time?
Yes.
I love that.
do you want me to sing it with you, or do you want to try it by yourself?
Sing it with us.
All right, one more time.